What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Mike here. I'm here to react to every Game 4 that is taking place in these NBA playoffs. Game 4 has begun on this past Saturday, April the 23rd, and I am here right now recording on April the 26th. The first Game 4 that took place was the Toronto Raptors avoiding the sweep of the Philadelphia 76ers. The Raptors won this game 110-102. They were led by Pascal Siakam in this one, who scored 34 points. Just a quick update to update you guys on. The Raptors are now trailing this series 3-2, and they will have a pivotal Game 6 in their home gym. And who knows? Maybe they could force a Game 7. Maybe they could win this series, but I'll talk about that in the next video. The other Game 4 that took place on Saturday was the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Utah Jazz in Utah. This game also featured the return of Luka Doncic, NBA star, and he was a star. He had 30 points in this game, but they did lose this game 100-99, and that came on a Rudy Gobert alley-oop dunk, and the Mavericks tried to score a late rally. Luka was double-teamed, tried to kick it to Dinwiddie, pretty much a desperation shot, but the Mavericks lost this game, but they did win Game 5. We're going to talk about that in the next one, of course. Also, in this window, we had the Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. This was Game 4, and Memphis did not win this game. Minnesota tied this thing up to 2 games apiece. Karl-Anthony Towns scored 33 points, despite Desmond Bane, who scored 34 points. And how about this, man? Could have been the most improved player of the year. Ja Morant did win the award, and he gave that trophy away to his guy, Desmond Bane. Can't wait for Game 5 because that's going to be really, really huge. Moving on, Sunday we had some more Game 4s. We had the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Chicago Bulls. In this one, the Bucks smacked the Bulls up 119-95. Giannis had 32 points, and for the Bulls, not too much to talk about, but also some bad development news to talk about for Game 5 is the Bucks will go into this game, but the Bulls will not have Zach LaVine, who has entered health and safety protocols. Really, really tough blow for the Bulls if they look to have any type of hope. You know, that's one of their better players, and Alex Caruso also may miss this game with a concussion. But I did have a little wager for my gamblers out there on the Bucks series spread -2.5. Hopefully we cash and we get to some cheddar. I hope they wrap this thing up in 5, which was my initial prediction. Next series, we had the Golden State Warriors and the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets put up a requisite effort and they avoided getting swept. They were led in this game by Nikola Jokic, and they won this game 126-121, but they received contributions from just about everybody. Monte Morris, Aaron Gordon, Bones Highland, who's been very, very impressive this year as a rookie. Despite Steph Curry's big game of 33 points, the Nuggets win this game. Moving on to the next Game 4, we had the Miami Heat defeating the Atlanta Hawks in Smack City fashion. Final score was 110-86. The Heat were led by Jimmy Butler, who had a big 36-point output, but they will be without him in a very pivotal Game 5, which will be tonight. So it should be out by the time this video drops. But in this one, man, I think the series is pretty much over. They have Heat in 6, I believe, and the Hawks very well could force this thing to 6. But I still think the Heat will win this series. Another one, Game 4, Phoenix Suns, New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans have tied this thing up, winning their last game 118-103, and they were led by Brandon Ingram, 30 points. Guy Brandon Ingram is scoring 30 points on no threes. I really, really miss him on the Lakers. Chris Paul had a horrendous game, only scoring 4 points, which is very, very shocking, considering all the praise I gave him in my last video. But the Pelicans have tied this thing up 2-2, and honestly, guys, I think this one is going 7. I think the Suns will win tonight. The NBA is going to bring in referee Scott Foster, who Chris Paul cannot seem to win a game when he's reffing. And then Game 7, it's anybody's game. But I'm going to go, for sake of prediction, I'm going to go Phoenix in 7. I feel like Devin Booker might try to gut it out and come back if this one goes to 7 games. But yeah, I like Phoenix in 7. But for game 4, man, got to give credit when credit is due to New Orleans Pelicans, who are back in this series. Who would have thought? And then, for the final game 4, I'm sorry, not a couple, but the final game 4 was the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics. The Celtics have completed the sweep over the Brooklyn Nets. We finally got to see something from KD, but it's just not enough as the Boston Celtics win this 116-112. Celtics were led by Jason Tatum, but Marcus Smart also chipped in with 20 points. Jaylen Brown also had a nice game. Grant Williams hit 4 threes off the bench. Crazy. The Nets have been swept, and I really can't believe it. There's so much things that we can talk about, and we might as well unpack this since this is the last game 4, and the Nets are now out of the playoffs. KD, you had a really bad series. You were outplayed by Jason Tatum. Gotta give credit to the Celtics though, as head coach Ime Udoka had a very awesome scheme and game plan to defend KD. Pretty much double him every time he touched the wall. Every time he got into the mid-range area, he saw multiple defenders. Kyrie, you gotta do better. Despite that game 1, he was horrible. Let's just call it what it is. Jason Tatum was spectacular. So was Marcus Smart. Jaylen Brown was good. But they also got so many contributions from so many other guys, whether it was Peyton Pritchard one night, Grant Williams another night. Al Horford was even huge in this series at different points. Derek White had a nice game 4. I just hate to see it for the Brooklyn Nets. There has to be some changes. Will we see Ben Simmons next year? Will Steve Nash get fired? Will Kyrie Irving even be re-signed by the Brooklyn Nets? It's so many things to unpack, and we will see. But it's so early. I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe the Brooklyn Nets got eliminated in the first round, and they didn't even make it to the month of May. Kevin Durant and the Nets, they won the same amount of games as my team, the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, I know I had to throw that jab in there. I just had to. It was mandatory. But I want to thank everybody for listening and for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you turn those bell notifications on. I'm trying to get to this, guys. I'm trying to get better. But yeah, turn on the notification bell if you guys like this video. I'm your host. I'm your guy, Michael Curry. And you can check out my podcast. Link is in the description below. And I'm out. Peace.